Hey, welcome to this episode of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade, at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And so in this episode, I want to talk about, as we do every single Thursday, we're talking about traveling while we teach online as spiritual entrepreneurs. And in this episode, as I usually do, I'm going to share and segment this episode and this training. I'm getting a notification. Hang on. May or may not be able to see me. All right. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you, and excuse the fingers, I'm going to share with you and segment this podcast, this video podcast, this YouTube podcast into several segments. We're going to be talking about your vision. I have a spiritual business vision board challenge for spiritual entrepreneurs and light workers and service-based business owners, who I call soul guided influencers, on my YouTube channel. And this YouTube podcast will make more sense if you're into vision boards, and if you're into raising your vibration, if you're into manifesting, and if you want to have spiritual business success, and you want to balance your life and your light work, and you want to journal out the process with me. So this will make more sense. We're going to be talking about your vision today. We're going to be talking about what raises or lowers your vibrational frequency. We're going to be talking about gratitude, expressing gratitude, setting soul's intentions, seeing how you'll launch, lead, and leave your day, what your vision is, and where there is a gap. I'm going to be talking and inviting you into what I call the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. Super excited to stay to the end for that. And so we're going to spend vibrational money. What I do is I like to journal, and I journal in what I call the Soul Legacy Journal, 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. And so I use this journal to spend my vibrational money voucher on each area of my life. And I'll tell you what the 7 freedoms stand for in a second if you're not familiar. And then we do our vibrational, take our vibrational work and do the visible practice of banking 50K in 50 days in our business. So I will invite you to my monthly masterclass, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, and it is to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying, who I call your one-to-many soul clients online. So all the links and the description, it will be in the cards and in the description. I also have a monthly call for again, light workers, service-based business owners, and spiritual entrepreneurs. If you want to co-create, connect, and collaborate and cross-promote with me, or with other fellow soul-guided influencers, then I will leave the link to my global online networking hub as well. We go live via Zoom, off social media, on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. And again, all the links will be down below or at thesoullegacyacademy.com. All right. So with that said, this journal, again, is the Soul Legacy Journal. And so when I was going through a spiritual awakening, I used two tools, what I call spiritual ascension tools. And that was visualizing to raise my vibration and see a light at the end of the tunnel, and journaling. And so this practice is my daily practice. This episode is an episode for me first, and then for my students in the Soul Legacy Academy, and then for you at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona podcast and YouTube channel. All right. And if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I go live daily talking about what I call the 7 freedoms. And just so a backstory before we jump into the episode, if you are new to me, every single day I will go live at the Soul Legacy TV. So subscribe so you know when I go live. Usually it's 11:11 UK time, but you can come and you can watch the replays, journal with me. There's a playlist for previous replays, and there's a playlist and upcoming lives on my YouTube channel, so that you can click the notification button actually on the episode and get notified when I go live. So that's the reason to subscribe or share this out as well. And so a backstory into the vision board, the spiritual business vision board. I talk about spiritual business success at the Soul Legacy TV, and how we launch, lead, and leave our soul legacy in these 7 areas. And so the first area, is how we contribute in the world, our life purpose, right? And so I built a soul purpose-led business. And so I love it at the Soul Legacy Academy. And if you are a spiritual entrepreneur, light worker, or service-based business owner, I'm guessing that you have, or you're awakening to your purpose. Often when we go through a spiritual awakening, we want more meaning in life, and we don't necessarily want to work for other people. We want to set up our own business online. So part of the vision board challenge is to do that. And so on Mondays, I actually walk you through a journaling process, this process on the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, to manifest and to document the journey, basically, and to support the feelings and the habits and raising our vibrational frequency and releasing stuff, any blockages, thoughts, feelings, patterns, actions, all the things. So it's really, really exciting. Say hi, welcome. And I should be able to see comments if you want to comment and journal along with me. All right, so the Tuesday, the second day of the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge is about health. So I wanted to contribute in the world, but I also wanted to make sure that I was looking after my own health. And Wednesday is Emotional Freedom Wednesday. Today is Enviromental Freedom Thursday, which I'll be talking about and going into more on this episode. And then Friday is Relationship Freedom Friday. And we have Spiritual Freedom Saturday and Financial Freedom Sunday, hence the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. And so how we contribute in the world has a direct impact to the level of finances that we're able to receive, which brings me into this episode of having the vision to contribute in the world on a global scale. If you're a light worker, if you're working online, like I'm in the UK, so do I want to work with just people in the UK? No. Do I just work with people in the UK? No. I had a vision of, and I tend to hire people as well. I've hired a lot of people overseas. I don't even know how many people I have hired in the UK, like programs and coaches and stuff over the years since I started out in 2008, 2009. Tends to be a lot of things that come to us in the UK from overseas and all over the world. And so I wanted to teach online and set up my spiritual business. And for me, my spiritual business success meant that I was doing, setting up my business in alignment. Hey, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from and let me know if you're new to me. So I wanted to set up my spiritual business in a way that felt like a success to me. Being chained to a 9-to-5 and being pushed and pulled by my business wasn't the one for me. So as a spiritual entrepreneur traveling while I teach, I want to see the world. I want to have freedom. It's called the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast for a reason. And so I'm very intentional about living my life. I live an intentional life, and I'm very intentional about the names that I have in my business. So the 7 Freedoms Frequency are those areas. And the frequency is me being in alignment with my vision and the values in my life and raising my vibration. So for Environmental Freedom Thursdays, and I talk about traveling while you teach, for me, it goes back to contribution. It goes back to my spiritual business. And that's why I say, if you watch the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge, then this will make more sense, because I help you get clear on every single area of your life. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. And let me know where you're watching from. I think I should be able to get comments wherever you are. It seems like somebody's on Facebook. This is being streamed out on my YouTube channel, on Twitter, and I shared it out on to Telegram into our community, and also on Facebook, and it will be repurposed for my students in the Soul Legacy Academy. So welcome. Thank you for joining me. So we're talking about teaching online. So do you have a spiritual business, and do you want to teach online? And what does your business look and feel like? And so for me, again, my spiritual business success looked like me teaching and setting up my business in a way that gave me that freedom. And so the freedom that I wanted to have to travel while I teach, internet connection permitting, meant that I needed to have the clarity actually on what it was that I wanted. So hence the Vision Board Challenge. And then the confidence to be able to come on camera. A lot of my students are like, I want to go on camera, but I'm not confident. And I teach about setting up your spiritual business in a way. I'm trying not to lose my page from my journal. So I'm going to put my pen in it, right? I'm going to come back to notes and structure this episode. So I am the author of Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul-guided influencer's compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. This is my compass to leverage my light work and my lifestyle on YouTube. And so in the book, I talk about that life work balance. And so I wanted to set up my business in a way that was going to leverage my time, and also so that I could reach students all over the world, even when I'm not online. And that kind of seems like a bit of a myth, like, oh, can I build a business that gives me freedom? Well, when you are building a business and you're doing it on YouTube, right, and you're streaming it and repurposing it onto a podcast, then people can watch you wherever. I don't know where I got that like from or that heart from, and I don't know, when you're watching or when you're listening to this. I've decided that I was going to go live in my business. I actually paused. I've paused this podcast, and I'm back. And I'll talk about that in a second, why I paused, what's been going on in my environment and what I've been up to, and how I have the freedom. I feel like I have the freedom not to be pushed and pulled in my business, if that makes sense. So hopefully, if you are making comments, then I will see them. And if you're somewhere where I can't see comments, like if you're watching in our Telegram community, I can't see any comments, you do have to come over to the YouTube channel. So click this episode and then you'll come over to the YouTube channel. And if you're on Facebook or what have you, then I'll see those comments after. So again, building my business, what does your business look like, right? So if you want to build a business, are you actually in business? Again, a lot of my students, they want to be on camera. They want to build a business. They want to be, in alignment with their purpose, align their movement, their message, and their money. But a lot of things hold them back. A lot of the times it's vision. And so doing the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge first, they say begin with the end in mind. That's Stephen Covey, right? So we begin with the end in mind. And my vision is to travel. I want to see the world. So therefore, if I don't set up my business in a certain way, if I didn't write my book and have students go through, read whenever on Amazon, or I didn't set up a YouTube channel, or I just decided, oh, okay, I'm just going to hide behind closed doors, that doesn't afford me, and it doesn't allow me to be able to travel while I teach. Does that make sense? So for me, traveling was a really big thing. And before, again, I dive into this episode fully, the vision that I had to be in alignment while my values, while I travel, it's not an overnight thing. Sometimes people are like, yeah, build a business, but, go out there and build a list and everything will be fine. First of all, I'm like, stop doing that, build a legacy. Secondly, people don't really realize what it takes. I mean, writing that book, people put things on the vision board and then it's like, well, it's just going to manifest. I had to actually sit down. I had to learn and live my book first. And then I actually had to sit down and write that book. Books do not write themselves unless you get a ghostwriter. Then, you want to, it's not your work necessarily, but it is, but it isn't. I wanted to go through it's so therapeutic to be able to sit and write a book. I have learning dyslexia. Trust me, that was not easy. People have a vision and then it's like, okay, well, will you do what it is that is required to manifest that vision? It's not just about putting it on your vision board. And every single day, I'll support you in that, seeing what it is that you need to do in order to be in alignment with that vision and close that gap. So traveling, for me, I wanted to build my business. And so I know people, my niece and a friend of mine has traveled all over the world, New Zealand, Dubai, Australia, and working for somebody else. So my niece is not an entrepreneur, but my friend is. Like, she's had a business for a long time. Shout out to you, because I know you'll know who you are. She just bought my book as well. So she traveled out to Dubai, whereas I want to go see her. I wanted to go to Dubai anyway, and she happened to go to Dubai before me, but she knows Dubai anyway. So she had that vision of, going out there and just doing it. And it meant doing different work in the world. And that work isn't her soul calling. She knew it wasn't her soul calling, but you do what you need to do to get to wherever it is that you need to be, right? And I was saying to her, you know, for me, I'm not willing, still not willing to go and travel in the world and go out there. And I still want freedom. I don't want to just travel and be not teaching online, if that makes sense. So for me, I had to be grounded and disciplined and patient in, let me write the book, let me create my online courses, let me pause from doing my live, let me get the back end of my business down even more. And I talk about building the back end of your spiritual business a lot before I go out there and say I want to travel, I want to do all those things. And hopefully that makes sense. It's like, okay, well, you might have this vision of you know, reaching people globally, seeing the world, all the things, but is your business set up for that? Right? And when you create a vision board, for me, part of this manifesting and part of going through the Soul Legacy Journal is seeing how we feel about what it is that we're doing. And so I love what I'm doing. Like, I'm very patient and very disciplined in what I'm doing. I kind of look like a crazy lady to other people, because it's like, well, you know, externally, you don't necessarily look like you're going really far forward, but sometimes you have to pull yourself back to have that catalyst to really go forward, or pause, or focus on one thing at a time, like one thing, the next thing, and the next thing. I love teaching spiritual business because the framework that I have is just really epic. There's 4 stages for our marketing. There's 3 phases to our business building. And so my students, and I talk about it again in the book. Hey, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know if you're new to me. In the book, I have a 1-page plan for your spiritual business and a framework. And every time I say that, somebody jumps off, and that's fine. I'm not for everyone, but watching on the replay, and if you are a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, I'm back for you. And so that 1-page plan, we're implementing, my students, my readers are implementing, and I absolutely love it. So I take the process of that I do daily, my journaling on my 7 freedoms on my vision board, and that I use as what I call pre-soul work for my students and my readers. And then I use that as my marketing. So it might not make sense to everybody else, but I ask daily, I ask my students every single day, and I ask myself daily, how do you feel? And how do you feel at this? Meaning, are you feeling that raising your vibration, low vibration or higher vibration? Like, are you feeling in soul flow, or are you feeling in soul funk? Intuitively guided, taking that soul guided action. And again, for me, the soul guided influences way in my book is not just how you feel humanly. That's a distinction. That's a new distinction. We'll talk about emotional freedom on Wednesday. That's a new distinction. I look at the world through the lens of my soul. We are having a human experience. We are souls having a human experience, right? You may or may not have heard that, probably. If you hear this long, you've heard that. So we're souls having a human experience. So in the spiritual community, we know this. Like, we know about manifesting. We know about, being high vibrational, all the things. Then we forget it. Then we let the humanness push and pull us. So the soul-guided influences way, and being a soul-guided influencer for me, is looking at the world through the lens of your soul and taking that soul-guided action. Now, sometimes that flow is like, just on it. Things are coming to you. You're emitting the vibration, right? Raising your vibration, and things are coming to you. They're just like popping, synchronicities, signs, everything's just like lit. And then sometimes there's blockages, there's thoughts, beliefs, there's all these things that the humanness of us, the trauma, the thought, the beliefs about ourselves, the beliefs about the world, our environment, whatever is going on, has us be in soul flow. And for me, it's recognizing, okay, where am I in soul flow and where I'm in soul funk. So I want to say, how are you feeling today? Do you feel that flow? the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, we talk about each area of your life, but we isolate one area every single day and focus and dial in on that. However, we know that our environment is interlinked and is influenced, and each of the seven freedoms, the contribution, the health, the emotions, the environment, the relationship, the spiritual and finances, all of it is comes together for us to live an intentional life. We compartmentalize our life and then we put it back together again. So when we focus on this one area, when we're doing our spiritual business vision board challenge in the Bank 50K in 50 days, what I encourage my students to do, and what I encourage you to do if you haven't been through it, and I do it live annually on the second week in December at 7:30 p.m. UK time. Every single day I go live and share what I've been manifesting throughout the year. So I did it last December and I will do it this December. And so again, if you haven't been part of that vision board challenge, I encourage you to not right now, go to the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona YouTube channel, and click on the playlist, watch it, take notes. There's homework for you in the Soul Legacy Academy if you choose to do that. There's a Facebook group if you choose to join. Come and body up with somebody and post in the Facebook group. So we've had students posting in the Facebook group. I love watching everybody's vision board on these 7 areas because it's really going to help you, and it's a nice environment to be in when other people are doing similar to you. So every area is not in isolation, but when we double down on, you'll be really surprised that when you double down and you think, oh, what environment do I want to work in? What environment? So if we link environmental freedom to the other freedoms, so we say you want to contribute in the world. Okay, what environments do you want to contribute in? Does that make sense? So do you want to go out and go get what I call a soul-sucking day job? They're not soul-sucking really, and we do what we need to do. I cleaned homes, right, but I was still self-employed, and I worked in childcare field since I was 14, and I studied to degree level, and I've done lots of different jobs over the years. I've been in my spiritual business for, oh gosh, I don't know, since 2008, 2009, a long time. But alongside that, I've worked as well, and I've been offline, and I've been in relationships, and that's been the source of support financially that I've had, and I've been very blessed in that. But when we look at our contribution, like when you wake up, when you go through a spiritual awakening, right? That's why we're journaling. Our view of the world changes, in my opinion, or my students and my audience, their view of the world changes, and we want to do more. We want to help and heal ourselves first, and then give back and serve in the world. I'm just gonna have a sip of my herbal tea. We want to give back, and so that the way to give back, as I talk about, is spiritual business success. So when we're thinking about environment, where is it that you want to work? Do you want to work globally? Do you want to work for somebody else part-time? What are you doing? What is your ultimate vision? I have a massive, really big vision and mission to improve the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation. And I'm here to increase prosperity and escape poverty, like elevate that prosperity consciousness. And I do it for myself every single day as I journal, and I do it with my students every single day as they journal and as they go through the work in the Soul Legacy Academy. We do the work, and we do the work together. So I had a really big vision and mission with these 7 freedoms, and I knew I couldn't do it alone, but I had to go within and really decide, okay, what do I want to do? Okay, well, I want to be on YouTube because my audience are searching on YouTube. They're in learner mode. On Facebook, they tend to be in lazy mode. People have scrolled, they're on, you're off. In my Soul Legacy Academy, where I repurpose this is for my students. And I have a 2-hour monthly coaching call for my students called the 7 Freedoms Frequency Call-In Gym, where we go through these 7 areas even deeper. And so I coach and I mentor, and we have accountability, and we do all those things. I talk about that on the Spiritual Biz Biz Masterclass, Biz YouTubers Masterclass and Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. Part of banking 50K in 50 days is looking at each area, like your contribution, your health, your emotions, your environment, your relationships, your spirituality, and your financial freedom. And knowing what each area will look like, then you'll know that actually that takes a level of financial freedom. So we do the banking 50K in 50 days in the visible world, and I will teach you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying soul clients online. I love it. We do 50 breakthrough sessions that serve just being in service, getting on a call, offering your services. That's it. Well, that's not kind of it, but it kind of is. So where do you want to work? Like, I do YouTube, I share out, and I share out on the socials. I have my online teaching portal, Zoom. I use StreamYard. I use different tools so I'm able. I had to learn to use these different tools, and I teach the tools that I have learned. I had to learn to use these different tools, and for me, I use Google a lot for my business. For me to contribute, I'm very visual. So I have my Google Suite, my Google Calendar, to say when I'm going to be on, when I'm going to be doing my work in the world. That's my contribution. Those environments are supportive of me scheduling out my business for 7 years at a time. And so one of the things that where my contribution is being online like this in the places where I've planned to, and the places that I haven't planned to, I don't want to be pushed and pulled by my business. And one of those things is making the decision to come back online. And I was saying to one of my students, like, I can speak to you every single day on this YouTube podcast, and like if you're listening along, I think it's absolutely amazing. If you're listening on Spotify, you can send me a voice note, right? I think it's amazing. One of the things that I wanted to do was have a level of boundaries in terms of how I engage. Like, I will, if you comment, if you leave any kind of aha moment or comment, then I will come back and I will engage with you. One of the boundaries that I have is not being pushed and pulled individually, like people DMing. And I know you know who I mean, but I've had this boundary for a really long time. I do DM, so it's like, oh, we do DM, but actually to do my soul work and my contribution in the world, I can't do that work on the DMs. I do try sometimes, but I can't do that soul work on the DMs. So I teach online in my online teaching portal, and I teach really deeply. And so I've got some really beautiful souls who are on this journey with me and understand that and understand my boundaries. So I'm like, I need to come back online so I can support my students, right? And I can, show the way of the business model that I've built. When we think of environment in terms of your health, when you do your spiritual business vision board challenge, and again, you don't want to be just pushed and pulled by your business. You really want to be taking care of yourself. And so many of my students say self-care. I'll talk about self-love in a second. When we talk about emotions, self-care, they have this vision that they want to, really do great, amazing things in the world. However, they lack the vision for the contribution in terms of executing executing what you need to manifest that vision. And one of the things is being disciplined with health. And so if you are in the spiritual business vision board challenge and Bank 50K in 50 days group, or if you're in the Soul Legacy Academy, well done you for all of your post on your health and working out and being inspired by each other, you guys, and have inspired me. And so the vision that you have for your health, actually taking the time, and the book that I read for today was on atomic habits. And so in the book Atomic Habits, James Clear is the author, talks about the habits that you need to have, and I'll talk about that more in just a second, that you need to have in order for that vision to manifest. And people say, well, I don't want to do all these habits, like, oh, that's too much, like, oh, they don't feel motivated. And he's talking about and explaining the habit loop in the chapter that I was listening to today on my daily walk. And basically he says habits create freedom. And I love that. So I'm going to talk about that towards the end of this episode, because I listen to a book a day as a habit to support me in manifesting my goals. And so health for me looks like eating clean, getting sleep, working out. So I did my daily walk. That's now become a habit. I set alarms for myself, and James Clear, I'll talk about habits in a second because I will go off on a tangent on it. But just habit stacking helps you. And so health freedom, like when you go and buy your groceries, like what you I work out at home. I'm not really a gym goer. I will go to the gym, but I don't have a gym membership right now. I did when I was in London, and because I want to travel while I teach, I'm like, working out at home, it suits me. Right now I was doing Insanity and it was wiping me out. Like, it was crazy. And I knew it would because it's hardcore. So I'm doing V-Shred, which is just really amazing. And I actually signed up to do a personal trainer course and gym instructor and a nutrition course, because that's really important to me. And so I will be doing my own program. I will not drop the name here. I will tell my students first. And some of my students are like, oh, wow, that's like, I wanted to do that. Like, my health's important, and I know that it's important to my students. I like to have excellence in what I'm doing. And that was on my vision board last December. And on the vision board challenge, I'll explain how things have manifested. And what oftentimes when people share vision boards, they're like, yeah, I manifested this, and they don't really share the journey. But that was on my vision board. So emotions, my students talk about self-love and, like, you know, all the things, but really the emotional scale, I talk about this on the Seven Freedom Frequency podcast on a Wednesday, going up the emotional scale for Abraham Hicks. And again, I ask how you feel, right? How you feel about how you contribute, how you feel about your environment, how you feel about your relationships, how you feel about your spirituality, how you feel about your spiritual practice, how you feel about your finances really impacts you. And so how you feel about your environment is your biggest vision board, in my opinion. So what you're seeing around you, and since I had been offline and I had paused, not offline, not completely, but had paused doing this, had up-leveled the environment that I'm in. I gave up my home in August. It's now May. August last year is now May. So after fostering 3 children and having them in my environment and giving up my bedroom, and my daughter giving up her bedroom, and being in my office and working, and then going to London, and then coming, hey, welcome, and then coming back to my second hometown, all in the name of anchoring myself in. I realized that, you know, traveling while you teach is amazing. I always want to have a base. And if you do leave a comment and I don't see it, I will come back. And so traveling while you teach, I didn't know just how important a base is to me. So I've been up-leveling my environment and creating those habits. And again, I'll talk about habits. Have you heard of Atomic Habits? I have a reading list in the members area. It's in the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge. I have a reading list of some of the books that I talk about daily. It's really important. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. Your environment and your emotions. So your environment, right? So what does your environment look and feel like now? And if you've done the vision board challenge, if you haven't, then I do again recommend, because this will make more sense. And then I'm here for you every single day once you've gone through that challenge. It's a YouTube challenge, and I talk about setting up YouTube challenges in my book. And if you haven't got my book, then grab it. It's on Amazon, and the paperback or the Kindle is on there. And inside this book, I have a 5-day fast track movement marketing model challenge where I support you in getting clarity around your spiritual business, the topics that you might want to talk about online as you travel while you teach, the topics, the naming of everything. I'm like big into naming your business and your soul signature system, I call it, your sessions, all the things, and planning out your year, and also your channel trailer. My channel trailer is my masterclass. So, you know, my environment my external environment needed to support what it is that I'm doing online. And so since I've been offline, I actually got a new phone case. I got a new screen saver because it was cracked. My phone case was like snapped. I'm like, hello. My earphones were, and I'm hoping that these work. My earphones were like crackling because they were cracked. I don't even know, just all the things. And I'm like, how did my environment, you know, when you just don't notice, how was it? It was shabby. Hey, love, how you doing? I did wonder whether you were going to come on. I was just talking about you. Well, I was talking not specifically about you. Nicole is on with us. You're on Facebook. What I will do, and thank you. Did you just get notified? What I'd love for you guys to do, if you are my student, just or anyway, is to watch on YouTube. Because that helps my channel out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Share it out on Facebook, then hop on to YouTube. So how are you? Good morning, because it's really early in your morning, right? Nicole, can you let us know where you are in the world? Again, environmental freedom. For me, journaling out the process, this is our time. So if you don't have a journal with you or a notebook, grab one. And I know, thank you for purchasing actually, you haven't got this one on Amazon. You've got the spiral bound one, right? There's me with all my notes. This is my love list, which I will disclose on my other YouTube channel talking about soulmates. It's a blank notebook, which I've had a couple now. I think I've had 4 of them. I'm due to get another one because I keep filling them up. Oops, hang on. Good morning. Yes, ma'am. It's good morning. So I don't know what time it is for me. I think it's coming up for 12 p.m., 12 lunchtime. So welcome. So we're talking about environmental freedom, and this is your first time on here, Nicole. So I've talked about our environment as we do our vision board, which I know that you've done the YouTube. Going to find you on YouTube. Okay, cool. Do I not include the link? The link should be above in the comments in the description to the YouTube channel. It should be at Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And if you subscribe to the YouTube channel or hit the notification, go to the playlist for this YouTube podcast and click get notified for all of the episodes that I've actually scheduled out, then you'll be with me and you'll be notified on YouTube. I'm very efficient in creating my environments. I have scheduled out this YouTube podcast, and it is on the Soul Legacy TV, as I say, and there's a playlist. If you go all the way down, you kind of scroll on and get them. And then if you are subscribed, YouTube will actually say, you know, she's going live in this time, she's going live in that time. I tend to schedule out. So we've been talking about the vision board and actually manifesting our vision board, right? So in terms of our contribution, the environments that we want to actually contribute in, YouTube, and because Facebook actually stopped or removed, as far as I know, have removed the third-party apps, including StreamYard into their groups, which I'm fine with because I was on YouTube anyway, YouTube at the Soul Legacy TV, and a lot of people have panicked with that, and I'm like cool as a cucumber because I'm just like, yeah, but I stream this out on Facebook too. So we talked about environment in terms of contribution, environment in terms of health, environment in terms of our emotions, how we feel about our environment, how we feel about so writing a book, right? If you want to write a book, how we feel about being on camera, how we feel about speaking to our soul clients, how we feel about having that spiritual business success. For me, traveling while you're teaching online, I didn't necessarily want to go traveling on my own. Like, I'm like, I want to share that with someone. I want to share that with my dude specifically. That's what I want to manifest. So I'm like, yeah, I don't need to just off and pop off on my own. It can be quite lonely. And as I was saying about my friend who has traveled, like she says, it can be lonely. And I'm like, yeah, that's not the life that I wanted to manifest. So let's talk about environment and relationships. So, hey, love, you're here. You found me straight away. Yes, yes, yes. And then Kel says, hello. Okay, I'm here. Environment has a huge impact on how we feel always. Yes. And so, Nicole, I know that you have been through my Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge, and I know that you've read my book and you're reading my book, which, by the way, the Kindle version you can get it on Kindle Unlimited. You can get the Kindle version, and I'm going to be doing the Audible eventually, not sure when, but you can have Alexa read out your book, this book. I'm like, I got it to do it. So Nicole's been letting everybody know, hey, you can have Iona's book like in your environment. And as we work together, and then inside my book as well, I have this 5-day YouTube challenge, and also my free chapter group coaching VIP day, which Nicole, as you've come into my world and my environment, and we've merged, and we were divinely guided to each other, coming into the environment that I wanted to create. And I will say, if I talk about environment and relationship freedom on Fridays, the environment that I wanted to create online was offline, on the Zoom call every single month, having a networking call for spiritual entrepreneurs and light workers and soul-guided influencers to connect, co-create and collaborate and cross-promote. And Nicole was on that call. And then I'm not sure how you found the book after that. You're like, I didn't even know you were this, you did this, and you did this. And just that alignment, and then becoming a student, and then becoming one of my boot campers, and one of our co-authors, which we've got the co-author chat tomorrow. So the relationships that I wanted to build online, my vision on my vision board, this is what I put on my vision board, is creating the relationships with my students, like real relationships. And I was saying to Nicole that you and Yaz were the biggest reason that I came back on to do my daily live, because I built the business model in this way to go through my YouTube challenge and then to journal every day, so that we could engage, and you could see me, I could see, hear and feel you, so we could check in every day with that vision board challenge. And you just really showed me the power of the model that I'm teaching, and also how I want to actually live my life, how I set the intentions for my relationships. I talk about in the book soul client income, soul family influence, and soul tribe impact. I think I've just am I there still? But the vision, I'll come back to your comment, but the vision that I had, hopefully you can see him. Will you give me just a thumbs up or a comment, Nicole, if you can hear me still? The vision that I had for the relationships was to engage in a certain way, and it was to engage here. And I have boundaries about where I engage, when I engage, and that, because my teachings is really long. So I was like, I need to come back online and do this daily live. And Nicole says, yes, the hard copy is arriving today. Is it? Yes. The book has been beautiful. It's been a great experience. Yes, yes, yes. You can see me. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you. So I've loved that. One, you've come onto the networking call. Then we're going to do the I think it's next week, the free chapter group coaching VIP day. Super excited about that. And we've had a one-on-one session. And thank you for your testimonial. And you've gone through the book, and you're going through the 5-day challenge, and you've gone through the 7-day YouTube challenge, and you're going through my boot camp, and we've had like an orientation day. All of the things that I had on my vision boards, because I've had a pause for the last 3 months off doing the lives to focus on my own journaling, but also on my Spirit co-author book series. So I practice what I preach and walk my talk. And environments, like you said, Nicole, you've had like that clearing. A lot of my students do start with clearing, and you've inspired me, because it's a two-way street, to get my environment. My internet keeps going down, and I was like, oh, so I'd stopped doing the lives. I was like, this is frustrating. And my internet went down. I was like, I'm just going to have a nap. Abraham Hicks says, if stuff's not going the way that you want it to, have a nap. So I was like, I'm going to have a nap. I'm like, I'm not tired. So I got up and I cleared my environment. So you guys inspire me as well. It's a two-way street. And so we don't actually realize just how big our environment is. Our environment, I say, is our biggest spiritual vision board. And if you're creating a vision board, when you create a vision board with me, and what you'll notice is that if there's a gap, the universe will nudge you to take those soul guided actions. It's beautiful. So when we talk about environment and relationships, that's it. I had that on my vision board to contribute, remember, and have relationships. You can't have a business unless you have relationships with your soul clients, your soul tribe. And then environment with your spiritual practices, spiritual. For me, I know that a lot of people, Nicole says, it feels good. My mindset has shifted so much with just doing that. Exactly. And I've been able to take what I know, my knowledge, and package it up and alchemize it. How about that? So Nicole and I have been talking with like the word alchemy. So Nicole, this is a little nugget for the spiritual practices. So the reason why I do the Soul Legacy Journal, and I talk about sharing my spiritual awakening story, and you'll share your spiritual awakening story in our co-author book series. And if you are interested in being a co-author, go to the soullegacyacademy.com, come into the hub for the monthly networking call, and you'll see information in guide 8 on how to get on a call with me. It's a group call on Fridays at 3 p.m. UK time. When the book is full, then I'll launch the next series. It's a 7 series, 7 years, 7 season book series, annual book series on sharing our spiritual awakening story. Now, if I had not gone through a spiritual awakening, which are rude, they're rude, they're just rude. Spiritual awakenings are, do you know what I mean? That dark night of the soul is for real. It's a real thing. If I had not gone through my spiritual awakening, I wish that I would have had somebody journaling with me every day on my spiritual awakening, during my spiritual awakening. The Spiritual Freedom Saturday starts for me with a spiritual awakening and a dark night of the soul and all things. And I'll come to your comments in just a second. And then when we've gathered the spiritual ascension tools that are right for us in response to the trigger that we've been through. So for me, I don't know why, but my journey has been a lot through loss. My big brother, 19 years, my dad, 10 years, and my son 9 years ago. A lot of losses, which had me really think about legacy. And it had me think about how I wanted to make my difference on this earthly plane. Like, what is the thing that I'm going to leave? Like, why am I here? How do I want to live my life? How do I want to launch my day, lead my day, and leave my day so it matters? That's what birthed the Soul Legacy Journal. And so the spiritual ascension tools that I used with the vision board and the journaling. And so here I am. I've used my spiritual alchemy process to package up what I did and then give it to you. And so that's what the alchemy is. And so Nicole says, love me some alchemy. Exactly. And so I teach my students to go back to what in spiritual freedom, go back to the spiritual awakenings that you've had. What tools are you using? How are you using them? Let's get that results in that process, then package it up, give it back to the world. Doesn't have to be that hard. Spiritual, they are so rude. Doesn't have to be that hard. Like, there's clarity in that. And so that's what I teach. Financial freedom. Let's think of environmental freedom and financial freedom. So the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, again, goes through that vision board. And so when a lot of my students have money blocks, right? I had money blocks. I don't have money blocks anymore. I'm like, nah, dude, pay me. Like, I'm good. Pay me in exchange for the services that I offer, which are 10 times the value that I ever ask anybody to invest or invite anyone to invest. And so, and if it's a soul match. And so for me, my money blocks dissipated when I heard this from Tony Robbins, who I believe heard it from Jim Rohn, was offer 10 times the value of whatever you ever ask people to invest. And I'm like, I've taken that to heart. So for me, my environment and my financial freedom go together. And so there's work that I want to do in the world, and I am full out, Nicole knows this, full out in being in service. I show up, I speak out, and I serve deep is what I always say, and I say it in the book, and I explain what that means. But I wanted to do it in a way and have my financial freedom, which allowed me the life-work balance. And so that's why I was saying to you, Nicole, like, yeah, we connected, and we've had some beautiful conversations on the DMs, and just really lovely. But where I do my actual soul work is I've selected the spaces, the Zoom, the book, the 5-day challenge, the online course, the what have you. And I love that you say, you know, actually, I get it. I want to do that in my business. And oftentimes we have, what is it? Like we feel guilty, or and I do. I am like, oh, you know, I'd love to be on 24/7, but I have to switch off to be on. And the financial freedom goals that I have is me having the energy exchange where I want to have it, working when I want to work, and having passive and leveraged income streams, group coaching income streams. And so I do schedule out my business for 7 years, and I have teachings online, again, traveling while we teach, teachings online to support that, and calls to support those courses and my book. And I'm looking this way because the book is over there. And so financial freedom becomes really easy for me when I follow my own framework, the 1-page model that's in the book. So Nicole, you'll be following that model, and now you'll see in the book, I know you've read most of the book, or if not all of the book, you'll see the model in action. As I journal out the process, I ask you what your vision is. I ask you what your vibrational frequency is. And Nicole, we'll do this real quick before we move into the next segment of this episode. I ask every single day, how are you feeling today? Are you in soul funk, or are you in soul flow? And so we vibe between a 1 and 11. I share this on the vision board challenge, right? And you may have heard me. So every day we come back, in terms of your environment, how are you feeling today? And you'll do this every day, whether you're with me or not. And so you rate between a 1 and 11. You don't get a 0 because you're breathing. Hello. But you might go 1, like your environment, because it doesn't feel the way that you want it to feel. But it doesn't mean to say the environment has to have this big shift. It doesn't mean to say that I need to be abroad on the beach. I want to be abroad on the beach. But it doesn't mean to say that I need to be abroad on the beach in order to feel good about my environment. It means that I need to learn how to raise my vibrational frequency regardless of what is on my vision board, not being there on the beach. It's like, okay, well, how am I feeling? How do I raise my vibration and feel good anyway, in order for that to manifest? And before it manifests, so that it manifests, we've got to feel that, what is on our vision board. So that's why Yaz talks about our imagination and our what have you. And as I was doing, getting ready to do this podcast, you see that? Iona beaches. I've actually been to the island of Iona in Scotland. Iona beaches. I think that just says everything. I love the beach. So, Nicole says, energy exchange, you absolutely deliver much value than you ask for financially. I do, yeah. Your boundaries have helped me realize it's okay to have boundaries. Everybody says that about me. And I love that, because I'm glad that, 1, the honoring of them, and 2, speaking them out with kindness and with love and with care. And so when I was on my daily walk, I set my day out, like, as we talk about intentional living, the intentional living codes, you'll learn that on the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge. Intentional living. So every single hour, every single day, I have scheduled out that is in alignment with my contribution, my health, my emotions, my environment, my relationships, my financial freedom. So that if I don't honor those boundaries, then I'm not going to be able to move. And I talk about this on the Vision Board Challenge, segment my day and move into the next segment of my day intentionally. And by segment intending, Abraham Hicks talks about how you move from one thing to another. So I did my workout this morning. I did the V-shred, like you're doing the workouts, did the V-shred, which you reminded me of V-shred as well. I'm like, I'm doing that. And then I went on to, and then the next phase was to go out on my walk, and I listened, and then I soul speak into existence. And then I listened to Atomic Habits. I was listening to music at first, and then I listened to Atomic Habits, wrote down in my journal, and then it was, okay, get washed, get dressed, put my makeup on, segment intending, visualizing. I was visualizing you being on with me, and being here for you, and being here for me, showing up, speak out, and serving deep. So it's really, really powerful that when we create the day that we want in our mind, we know when it's not it. So we do set that boundary, but we do it with love, and it's not out of like anything other than this is how I want my day to look and feel like, you know. So Nicole says, yes, I printed the Soul Legacy Wheel. Have you? It's very useful to check in so we can adjust accordingly. I haven't even printed the Soul Legacy Wheel. I want to put the Soul Legacy Wheel in the journaling, and maybe by October I will get it together to do that. And then so we can rate every single day. Right now it's a blank notebook. Nicole says, I love it. And I don't know what I said. Nicole said, me too. Yes. All right. So the next segment. So we've done rating our vibration, and I will go faster. We've done what your vision is for each area. We've done how you move into your day, what your actions. So the book that I read for today, and I don't know if you know this book, Nicole, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic meaning tiny little habits that we have. And so I think this is a really big one for our environment, because that's what we'll keep it to today. I'll try keep it to that today. He talks about habit stacking, and say like when this is the habit that I'm going to form. It's day 4 of me doing V-shred, right? And I'm doing it because I'm used to working out, all the rest of it. There's a warm-up, which is skipping, which I didn't realize, I didn't see it at first when I was doing it before. And I haven't developed the habit of doing that warm-up, the skipping, yet. And I put the skipping rope near my workout stuff and near my weights and stuff. And I'm like, I'm still not doing it. It's day 4. And I come back and I'm like, from my walk, I'm like, you didn't do it again. I put the skipping rope inside my trainer, so that when I pick up my trainers in the morning, that skipping rope, and the skipping rope is my son's skipping rope. So it's like his energy is with me. That's then a habit. So like when I take off the shoes, put the skipping rope in, so I've got it for the next day. Do you know what I mean? Like it's when you do one thing, what's in your environment. And he was talking about on the chapter that I was listening to today, I think it was called How to Build Better Habits, I think. And he says, so basically you're going to need habits. You do your vision board, and then you take soul guided action towards your habits. So Nicole, you were doing the workouts, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to do it too, right? And I know that the workouts are not like they haven't been a habit for a while, right? You can share and divulge your own business, but they haven't been a habit for a while. Excuse me, Nicole says all the small things add up. Makes sense. Yeah, it's really beautiful book. So he says basically like one habit leads to another habit, so you associate. So again, that's like that segment intending your day, in order for your day to flow freely, in order to become the version of you on your vision board. So if you've got a vision to have a beach body, which I do as I travel while I teach, and I'm going to be on the beach looking hot and looking lit. I want to live to 100 and I want to be healthy. You know, don't call me out on it. Like I still want to have a beach body. It's my body. Like I'm good. So because people are like, you're so superficial. I'm not. However, I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel good for me. I want to feel good for my man, for my husband, when I'm in that relationship, all things. Anyway, I don't have to justify it. It's on my vision board, right? So it's like, what do I need to do? What would be my habits? It doesn't make sense to say, well, I'm 2 and 3. I'm not 2 and 3 stone heavier than what I'd want to be. The universe will sort that out for me. Like the universe will do the shopping. You know what I mean? Am I there still? The universe will not do all those things. The universe will give you nudges on educating yourself on fasting, on drinking your water, doing all the things, and bringing you the people and things to educate you, but you have to do the habit. I can have V-Shred, I can purchase it, have the financial freedom to purchase it, be in my environment at home on my Mac, and not enough time, be rushing, all those things. So it's really beautiful, the book. So anyway, he was talking about the habit loop, which I made some notes on real quick. Hopefully this is making sense. Is this helpful? Hopefully this is helpful. So he was talking about the habit loop today, and he was saying that there's 4 like laws of a habit kind of thing. And basically it was the cue to a habit, the motivation for the motive for it. So we've got a vision board, that's the cue, right? And when we play our vision board every single day, that's the cue. We've got a motive, we've got an incentive. Yeah, it's helpful. Awesome. Nicole says you have to take soul aligned action. Yes, but it's not easy to take soul aligned action when we're doubting or we're worrying or we're not sure that this will get us to where it is that we want to be, that or something better. So that when we get when we do our vision board, we're clear. We've said to the universe, hey, this is what I'd like to experience, this or something better. So now the universe is like, oh, okay, cool, not a problem, I can do that. It will come in the ways, different ways necessarily that we think, but it will come because we're clear. And so the soul aligned action feels we've got that knowing that this is a yes or this is a no to manifesting that vision. Q is the motive, right? And so he says there's a craving, the motivation. Why do you want to do it? Well, I want to have a beach body. Like, I'm not just going to work out and I want to live to 100, but is that a guarantee? No, I know that I can have a beach body. In the meantime, look after myself. Having a beach body, not as in just weight, like feeling good. I eat. I'll talk about health freedom tomorrow. Not tomorrow, it's not even Monday. Health freedom on Tuesday. What I eat, what my days look like that support me, and hopefully you'll create a day that supports you. Then he talks about the response and your desire, the thoughts and the actions that you have. So you have the cue, you have that motive, you have the craving, the motivation to do it, and then your response, do your ability to do it or not. Too hard. He says that you get the reward, you're satisfied with that habit. So as I get the results, like I'm like, yeah, I feel really good. I'm reinforcing that habit. So we do small wins, right? At first, like just getting up and doing whatever it is. Like it might be just skipping. We start small and build up. And I've used exercises an example because my environment supports my vision board, it supports each area. So I've set up my lights, I've got my herbal tea because I want to drink like 2 liters every day, and so I purchase the things that would help make it easy. He says make it easy, make it visible, and if you want to stop a habit, make that habit hard and undesirable. And it's such a beautiful book. Anyway, I really recommend it. Let me move into the next segment for this podcast because I've been on here a while. Oh, I want to talk about how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. Basically, we've talked about it a little bit. So in terms of your environmental freedom, how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day, does it support you? Does your environment support you? How you launch your day in terms of your contribution, is that easy in the environment that you're in? Is how you launch your day, is it easy in terms of your health? Is it easy in terms of your emotions? Is it easy in terms of your relationships? How you launch your day, your spiritual practices. I do Ho'oponopono and I dance. I've got my headphones and I've been dancing every morning to a specific song and it feels amazing. It feels incredible. And how you launch your day in terms of your financial freedom, like are your finances impacting how you're launching your day? What's on your mind? How you think and feel about it? How you launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day, meaning your morning routine, your daily routine, and your nighttime routine. And what I will say is I ask every single day, what can you do more of? 1 to 3 things, or what can you do less of? So that you can manifest that environmental freedom, the vision that you have, that's in alignment with your values, that raises your vibration. It could be one thing. What's the one thing that you're doing already that's in alignment with your vision board, or that you could keep doing? You could keep doing, or that you could let go of. Either or both, or all, depending on how fast you want to get a result. The things that you might stop doing. So I have family, my sister-in-law, she's stopped smoking. And it's like, okay, well, she's shifted her environment. She's shifted what she said to herself. She's shifted, like, letting go of something still requires a new habit to replace that, because nature abhors a vacuum. Nicole says, yes, yes, yes. Sacred activation shifts habits too. I love to dance. Yes, I know you're sacred. And a lot of people that I work with do the activations and the things. And like you said, you know, you're right in terms of, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, well, I can't shift this habit on my own, and you go and get some help, and you go get some support from a soul guided influencer, from a light worker. That's why we're here. That's why we do our work. It's not that we can always do everything solo. When we go through the spiritual awakening journal, and I have my co-authors share their stories, their audience will resonate with them even more, because they've gone through what they've gone through, and then they've developed different habits and different spiritual practices to support them in the journey. I love it. I love dancing. I'm working on, so Nicole says, I'm working on no smoking. Working on no smoking. So this could be a good few of my students have been working on this. I had about 3 students at one time when we did the vision board challenge. I think when I first ever did it. And so I know that there's other people as well that this will apply to. I used to smoke. I never saw myself as a smoker. At 17, everybody was smoking. I was like, and I did. I ended up smoking, mostly social, but I did smoke. And I smoked in my house on my own. So it wasn't just social. And so, and when my son passed, I was like, I was about to start with my ex-partner at the time. And my son passed, and I was like, just give me 20. Like, and my daughter was like, Mum, and I said, dude, leave me alone. Everybody just leave me alone. And I said, give me a year. So I set the time frame, and I actually went and I got help. I wasn't even really a heavy smoker. I got help. I took 10 weeks. I had an inhalator thing, you know, that you have. I had different, and I had to breathe. I had an accountability. It was like a government scheme thing. And the guy was there, and I was blowing into this thing. And it wasn't, I hadn't smoked enough to have real damage, you know, it wasn't registering, but I had that. So whatever you need to do, and if it is not by yourself, like you said, the activations help. And sometimes it is like, oh, well, I've used my tool to not do this. I use that, but I also use the vision of not being, if I'm a non-smoker, and I've heard this, I think James Clear talks about it in his book. If you're a non-smoker, you just don't smoke. Because we battle, like, if you're a non-smoker, if I don't smoke, so I wouldn't put a cigarette in my mouth. I have to see myself as a non-smoker. And I had one of my students go through this, and I don't think she'll mind me saying, she used to be my lead, I won't say her name, but she did this with me, and she did it fully. So I have had people do it, but she actually did it every single Tuesday. She came back to, and she put other things in place, what have you. But if you're a non-smoker, you just don't smoke. That's it. Like, it's a date, and you just don't do it. Like, if I don't eat meat, I just don't eat meat. That's it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't. And so I just don't eat it. Like, excuse me, our brains will take us out. Excuse me. But I love that you're doing that one thing at a time. Build up those habits, right? And letting go of those habits. All right, next segment of this YouTube podcast, because I want to respect your time. I did have notes. So we've done rating, we've done our vision, we've done the letting. Excuse me. Yes, the label, that's huge. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm glad that helped. I'm not a health professional like that. I'm just sharing my own journey. I saw myself as, like, Aaron Doty says that he wanted to do a YouTube channel. He became a YouTuber when he just did YouTube every day. Like, we actually, it goes both ways of stop not doing something and doing something. It's our identity. And I don't know where this keeps coming. The downloads come. It's like, unlabeling myself. Yes. In the unlabeling. Yeah. And you're healthy. I mean, you're doing really well. And the working out, and when we start working out and we start eating well, we have that different identity and we have those different beliefs about ourselves. So we're like, yeah, I don't really feel it. It's a turn off. It's like, oh, I've just done all of that work. Why would I undo it? Like, it makes no sense. Read that book. He does mention not smoking. And we get a book. We get help. We do whatever we need to do. And whoever else is on, welcome. Excuse me. Let me know where you're watching. And if I can't see your comment, because I can only see Nicole's comment, then I do apologize. I have to stream this out. And again, it is in the Soul Legacy Academy as well for students. But do comment, do join the conversation. It really helps. And subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that helps as well. It helps support the channel. All right. We've done vision. We've done vibration, how we launch our day, leave our day. We're letting go. We're going to do gratitude. I'm going to read the card for the day. And then we're going to do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. Is that cool? All right. So this has been a little bit longer. We've done the book as well that I recommend. We're going to do gratitude, and then I'll do the card. All right. And then we'll do the spending the vibrational money voucher, the actual writing in your journal. This bit's lit. So gratitude. So we're launching our day, leading our day, and leaving our day, right? And you can write this down in your journal if you want to. I like to soul speak it into existence. This is my video journal, y'all. And so I say, the way that I do gratitude, and I know that all of my audience, all of my soul tribe love them some gratitude and being grateful and setting those soul intentions. And we know the power and the energy of gratitude. I don't need to go into all those things. And if you don't, then Google it. Saying gratitude, Abraham Hicks says that sometimes we might have a little bit of a lack energy in the gratitude. So when we say appreciation, it's like you're appreciating, it's like gratitude. I'm grateful that my car didn't break down, or I'm grateful. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not the same energy. And I was talking about this for our vision boards as well. Like, just setting the statement, not like you've said on one of your vision boards, like, I'm free from. Free from is still focusing on the thing. Do you know what I mean? The opposite. Anyway, so I do the gratitude for the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast. It's here to raise your vibrational frequency every single day. So whether you're on with me or not, I have this little heart. This is my gratitude stone, my love heart. My daughter gave me this when she was little. She's now 21. She's 21. I used to do gratitude on the same stone with my kids, and in relationships as well. I've cleared the stone, don't worry. And I say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. Now I want you to think of 7 things that you're happy and grateful and appreciate daily. And you can write down in your Soul Legacy journal, or any notebook that you call your Soul Legacy journal. And think of the 7 areas. Now, Nicole, I'll explain really quickly, and you might have got this on the Vision Board Challenge, that Abraham Hicks say, I love Mr. Abraham, that when you focus on, we want that balance and that harmony, right? And that vibrational harmony. Say you're blocked on finances, you're blocked on money. And we're talking about money. Your vibration is just blocked, and that's the vibration that you're emitting. So it influences all areas of your life. And so when you block one area, you kind of can possibly clog up other areas. Good news is, when we focus on other areas, it can release the vibration in other areas. So it has like this knock-on effect. So the reason why we focus on the 7 Freedoms Frequency, and we just do one a day, and so it means that we come back to environment 4 times in a month. We come back to contribution 4 times in a month. We come back to health 4 times in a month. We come back to emotions 4 times in a month. Environment 4 times in a month, relationships 4 times in a month, spirituality 4 times in a month, finances 4 times in a month, right? We're tuning our vibrational frequency, but we're not holding on to it so tight, so that when we come back, stuff's happened and manifested without us like focusing on it. So say what we focus on expands, but also having the freedom and the frequency and the energy to let go as well. Yes. All right. So I'm happy and I'm grateful. I don't know what you said yes to. I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. And again, the vibrational frequency. Nicole, did you say what? I might have gone off on a tangent. Did you say what vibration you're at between the soul funk and the soul flow, between a 1 and 11? I'm vibing high in my environment, so I would say in my journal, Environmental Freedom, EFT. Environmental Freedom Thursday equals between a 1 and 11. And then at the end of the week, when we do 7 days, at the end of the week, we'll see that our vibration is between 11 and 77 and where the dips are, so that we can work on balancing them out. So anyway, right, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. So I'm going to go through the 7 areas and just think of something to say I'm happy and grateful for. You can soul speak with me and add what you're happy and grateful for, or you can write them down. Either way, you can listen and write it down. You can wait, watch me, hear what I'm grateful for, do your process after. Okay. Nicole says, I'm about a 7-8 today. Whatever you're on, and Robin was always the guinea pig. So when you come on, I will relate this to you, but it's for everyone. So what I do say is, if you are feeling soul funk, that's 7 and 8, every rating is fine. It's beautiful. What it is, what it is. It's an indicator. That is all. And it's a great way to tune and track your vibrational frequency. Whatever is on your mind or whatever is blocking that feeling, and the whole situation does not need to change. How we think and how we feel about it does, in order for it to even improve. So the situation doesn't need to change. Our thoughts and feelings about the situation need to change in order for it to change and us to feel different about it, right? And we can do that. So whatever it is that is lowering your vibrational frequency, note that down in your journal today, and then set the intention to come back next week and see what would raise your vibration. Again, what 1 to 3 things can you do to improve it, or what 1 to 3 things can you do that will that you let go of. So things that you start to do or things that you let go of that will improve your vibrational frequency. Then come back next Thursday or on your own next Thursday, see what has manifested around that thing. It's magical. We don't just leave it and like, oh, I'm low vibing today. What's the one thing that you could do today to raise your vibration in that area? So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate, and that's for everyone. Contribution freedom. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that I can contribute to you today, Nicole, and that you're on with me. That for me is huge, massive, like the energy of that. And if you are not contributing, like I say, with the book, I wrote the book and I teach my students to write their book and create their YouTube videos and YouTube journaling process around their book, right? If you're not doing that now, just visualize it and express gratitude. So I say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. And we think of the things that have already manifested, like things that are in the past, things that are in the predicted future, or think that past, the present, or the predicted future. So when you're like, oh, well, I'm happy and grateful. Well, I would be if it changed. I don't see that now. So say if it's an environmental thing, you can say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate it. It might be something in the past about environment that raises your vibrational frequency, because this too shall pass. This too isn't the whole thing. It's just the vehicle to get us to where it is. So I can be happy and grateful for something in the present, as I've just expressed, or I can be happy and grateful and appreciate something in the predicted future on the vision board and that will raise my vibration. Happy and grateful for the beaches, right? Instantly raises my vibrational frequency because I'm not thinking about the rain outside. So just a tip. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate health. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my skipping rope. So without crying, that was my son's skipping rope. He passed 9 years ago. And I found it. He didn't give it to me. I found it. And I was like, oh, and I've used it. And I haven't used it for a while. And as I want to do my own routines, my own fitness, I was like, I want to bring skipping into it. And then I saw on the V-Shred, it says, do 4 minutes of skipping. My thoughts changed. And I'd been doing this V-Shred for the longest. And I was like, oh, I can do skipping. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that I can work out at home and I have that environment. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate emotional freedom, the love that you have, Nicole, the love that you share, just like the love between my students and the care. It's just amazing. Like I attract people who, my head feels swimming, who are just vibrating at that frequency of love and kindness and just, emotional freedom is just amazing. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the environment of having the Soul Legacy Academy and having my online teaching portal and having you in that online teaching portal. And if you're watching in the online teaching portal, I'm grateful to have that. And my domain name renews about now, I think, for GoDaddy. My domain name at the Soul Legacy Academy renews. It used to be the Soul Speakers Academy, and now I have the Soul Legacy Academy. I'm grateful for that environment. It's beautiful. When you come into the Soul Legacy Academy, you feel like you're going to launch, lead, and leave your soul legacy and do it with ease, grace, and flow. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate relationships. The relationship that I have with my granddaughter and her mum. My grandson actually stuck Lego up his nose, and I'm like, dude. But his mum let me know. She the whole throughout the night, throughout the day, until he got it out. And I'm happy and grateful for that relationship. Like to not have to, I'm just happy and grateful. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate spirituality, spiritual freedom. Oh, the downloads that come when I go out on my walk in nature. Can I get an amen? I love that. The guidance is just beautiful. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my crystal as well today. Financial freedom. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that I can earn in my business and not be pushed and pulled by trading time for money. So I'm happy and grateful that I have the freedom to earn the money and do whatever I want when I'm doing it and still earn. Do you know what I mean? Happy and grateful for that. You know, you purchased the book and I wrote that once and it just goes around and around and around. I love it. All right, let me do the vibrational money voucher and I think we're good. Oh, the card. Ooh. Try not to knock. The card for today. This is from Keepers of the Light by Carl Gray. I'm a bit rusty because I haven't done this for like a while. This is what I pulled for today. I asked for all of us, Odin, Psychic Insight. I'm going to read it. I'm going to try I haven't got my glasses on. It says, your third eye is open. See the truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. Can I get an amen? All right, let me see. Excuse the sniffs. I've got a deviated septum. I love me some Carl Gray. Yes, love me some Carl Gray. You know the story about this. I don't even know where the card is. You know the story about the Carl Gray and the card, right? I don't have the card right now, but I'll share it. I'll share it on Spirit. Amen. Thank you. My amens. All right. Odin is the Norse All-Father God who is revered to the present day. Let me hold that up. He is a powerful, all-seeking, all-knowing God. His twin flame is Frida. And like her name, he is taken a raven totem. He has taken a raven. He has a raven totem. No, he hasn't taken it. Hang on. You see it? The story goes that he surrendered one of his eyes at a mystic spring called Mirth. I think that's called Mimith. I'm really rubbish at reading, sorry. So that I should have read it first, so that he should gain wisdom of the ages. He is a strong but somewhat wild character who helps us reawaken our natural psychic instincts and open our third eye. Yay! So we can look beyond the physical senses and into the spiritual realms. Can I get another amen? Because that's why we're here. That's why we're here, raising our vibrational frequency. We can't see our vibration. Hang on, lost my place. He also helps us recognize, can you see that? Sorry. He also helps us recognize that it's okay to have insights into what's happening next. After all, we are the creators of our path, our soul path. Odin guards the runic alphabet too and works closely with signs, symbols, and omens. Yes. Extended message. You are being encouraged to look beyond what your physical eyes are showing you. Yes. Look within and follow your intuition or psychic vision. You may, I love that. Whatever came to mind for you, that's what it's about. Something just came to mind for me. And I'm like, it just really excited me. So this is for you. Whatever came to mind. It says, you may want to plan ahead at this time. It's important to keep your mind and energy focused on the best possible outcome. There will be signs and symbols from the light to tell you that you are on the right path. Be aware of the winged beings gracing your path as a wink from Odin and the light keepers to say that they are honoring your work. So literally I had a bird, like I was looking out the window and it like flew to, it was flying at me. I was like, dude. So yes, that resonates with me and I know exactly what that is about. I love it. All right. Oh my gosh, an hour and a half I've been on here. Okay. Last thing is to do the vibrational money voucher. So Nicole, you may not have done this. So in our journal, we do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. This is really simple, really quick. On our vision board, we have visions of what it is that we want to manifest. Some things are free, some things are not free. Choose something to spend your vibrational money voucher on today. Now, the Soul Income Game, Bank 50K in 50 days. And again, if you are in the Soul Legacy Academy, you can body up with a body and do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. You can post in the vision board Facebook group what you spend your vibrational money voucher on. If you want, you can do it in private. When you start to do the 50 breakthrough sessions that serve, when you go through my teachings and you get to that point where actually I'm going to do this in the visible world. I'll read that in a second. I'm going to do this in the visible world. I share with you how to do that, how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying soul clients online. You'll feel good at doing it in the vibrational world. And that's what because you've watched the orientation video, Nicole, the Trello board is this practice of doing the vibrational money voucher, spending your vibration. So the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day, wherever you are in the world. And you spend. There's rules to this. So we tithe 10% to a worthy cause. My worthy cause is Compassionate Friends, who is a charity, and Cruise Bereavement Care, who is a bereavement charity as well. So I have a tribute to my son on there. So if you ever want to donate, you can to Compassionate Friends. And so you tithe 10% of this vibrational money voucher, so that when you do have your money, you'll be able to tithe in the real world. I tithe to Charity Water in the real world. And so you'll start to feel good about what it is that you are manifesting, the money that you're manifesting, because you'll know who you be when you have the money. So there's £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day. There's rules as in tithing 10%. And the other 10%, we do not spend it on bills. We do not hoard it. We do not save it. You can carry it over to the next day. Now, the way that it works is you actually go and look online or even offline, and you spend the vibrational money voucher. This was inspired by 2 books. Ask and It Is Given, The Prosperity Game, where Esther and Jerry Hicks get you to, or Abraham get you to spend money, and then they double the money every single day. And if you do it for a year, they spend 66 million. I didn't want to spend 66 million, and like, I didn't want to have that energy of spending 66 million, because I didn't believe that I could earn 66 million in a year. I just didn't believe that. Do I believe it now? Probably not. But I'm good, like multiple millions, yes, but like I just didn't. So I was like, well, what would I have to sell and earn to have that? Didn't feel like it was visible world, vibrational world. Our beliefs, we've got to believe it, right? There's no point in saying 66 million, like, I don't know. So that's why I did the Bank 50K in 50 days. So it's believable, because I share with you how to price accordingly for your spiritual business model in a way that doesn't outprice your soul tribe, your soul clients, in a way that has you have passive income stream, and in a way that you offer your services in a group and a retreat, so that you only have to have a few clients depending on your price point. And I talk about this on the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge, the masterclass. The link should be around here, or go to the soullegacyacademy.com/courses/masterclass. You'll see the masterclass homework where we do the maths for your banking 50K in 50 days, and you can register live and come on with me and figure it out. Like, how do I spend this vibrational money and then bring that vibration into physical form in the visible world? So many times people say to Abraham Hicks, like, how do I get the money out of the vortex and into the bank? Well, I've created a way for you. All right, Nicole says, oh my God, I've been drawn to runes, and I always say that the least real thing we experience is what we see with our physical eyes. Yes. It's about what we see with our third eye. Yes. And so we're here on the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast in order to do that and believe that and say that and soul speak that into existence on a daily basis. Because oftentimes we know what we know, but then we don't know what we don't know. And we then don't have that consistent, like, it's okay. And I love that you say that. We do. It's about what we see through the third eye. But have you noticed that our environment, around our environment, we let that push and pull us? Or we're like, oh, well, I can't do this because I see that it's really walking our talk and practicing what we preach. And I do that. And that's why I call my mastermind Walk Your Talk, because we talk it, but we've got to walk it. And this was my way of making sure I walk what I talk and I practice what I preach. But we don't know it. It's not, knowledge is power, but it's not until we implement it, right? So I love that. Yes, ma'am. Right? So we're doing it together. So the vibrational money voucher, what would you spend your vibrational money voucher on today? If you don't want to spend your vibration, you tithe 10% today though. If you don't want to spend it because you're like, I don't have time today, Iona, I don't want to spend money. Like, I've got too many money blocks to spend money. That's fine. We carry it over to the next day and the next day and the next day. But you have to spend it by Sunday. And I realize that this is Thursday and I haven't been on live for a while. We just improvise, right? So on Sunday, I will spend my vibrational money voucher, and I will share with you on Sunday's Bank 50K in 50 days, the soul income game, what I spend my vibrational money voucher on. So you can do it once a week, you can do it daily. If you see something that is like throughout the week and you're like, oh, I'd love that. Do I have the money? Yes, you do, because the soul income game, the soul legacy journal, is giving you that money, that vibrational money, so that you can elevate and raise your vibration around money. And then you can just get on about your business of contributing in the world without the feeling of lack, moving from a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness. You're welcome. Right? I can always spend money. Yes. that part. So that's the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. Again, come to the soullegacyacademy.com. The links will be in the show notes and in the description. Come to the Bank 50K in 50 days. Basically put your money where your mouth is. Come to the masterclass with me. I will share with you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying soul clients one-to-many online. I will share with you how you can show up, speak out, and serve deep. There is a monthly call to continue on this conversation. If you are a student of mine, Nicole, you are. So there's a 2-hour monthly coaching call, which is gifted to my students who are on the live masterclass. It's called the 7 Freedom Frequency Call-in Gym, which we go into these again and again and again. And I have accountability. I have an intake form, which you'll share with me what you've been doing for the month, what soul intentions that you've set, etc., etc. Buddy up, do the thing. What else? The monthly call for the networking for spiritual women entrepreneurs, light workers, and soul guided influencers happens on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. I have the hub, the Soul Guided Influencers Network, Global Networking Hub. Now I'm excited. This is in there for the replays. The vision board is in there as well. My movement marketing media kit is in there. And if you want to be a co-author, I am gifting my students a chance to one page, an opportunity to feature their spiritual awakening story. And so I have a chat on a Friday. The link is in there as well. Can I get a name? Nicole, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I would imagine that you have got things to do in your day, as I have. I've just loved coming back on. I will be back on for Relationship Freedom Friday, which is just, it's my favorite day. In the 7 Freedom Frequency podcast. Again, if you are not subscribed to the Soul Legacy TV at Spiritual Business Success with Iona, then please do subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you have found this video podcast of value, please do share it out. If you're listening, if you're watching, wherever you're watching, please do share it out. Invite others to join us. And Nicole says, of course. Tell me what you said, of course, too, because I said a bunch of stuff. And make sure that you're scheduled onto the monthly call, the networking call. You are watching the Vision Board Challenge and you are clicking to get notified when I go live, because I think it's awesome. Taking Brianna to school. Yeah, much love. Hope you have a beautiful day. And you too, love. All right, I shall speak to you soon. Here's to showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. Be blessed in your soul purpose. Big love. Take care.